What's good, y'all? Rich Sosa back in the building, and as y'all can see by the looks of the title and the screen, today I'm gonna be bringing y'all another very special build. Today I'm gonna be bringing y'all a Wilt Chamberlain build. So this is actually gonna be coming out to a two-way facilitator, which honestly is gonna be reminding me of Wilt. Now, when it comes down to this build, this is really going to stay true to the center position. For those of you who like to play big, not under small forward or even power forward, but a true center, this is going to be the build for you. You're going to be able to get sharpshooting takeover. With this build, you're actually going to be able to do everything that you're going to want to out of a big. So again, thank y'all to everybody who decided to click on today's video. But man, y'all already know what y'all need to do. Be sure to hit that sub button if you're new to the RGF family, and any new supporters, I would appreciate it if y'all went ahead and hit that like button, but also go ahead and turn on post notifications because I'm uploading every single day and y'all are not going to want to miss. So let's go ahead and get into the making of this build. The first thing y'all want to go ahead and do is, of course, put it under the center position. Now, when it comes down to the height, weight, and wingspan, some of these are actually going to be optional. It really comes down to how you want to make the center. So I'm going to go ahead and leave it at 7 feet exactly, but if you want to, you could go ahead and lower it, or you could go ahead and raise it to the max. It really comes down to what you want to do. But when it comes to the height, for me, I'm going to go at 254, wingspan 710, and then when it comes down to the body shape, that's really up to y'all. But I'm going to go ahead and really go with burly because that's going to take up the most space. If you want to go with build, that's another really good one, but I'm going to go ahead and leave it as is. Now, when it comes down to these stats, be sure that y'all are following along exactly as I am doing. I have made this build before in the past, but the version that I'm bringing y'all today is going to be even better than what I have found, but also of my own version. Now, if you want to, and you see some of these stats that you would rather put in other areas, feel free to go ahead and do it. But now let's go ahead and get into the making. When it comes down to the finishing, the first thing we're going to go ahead and do is max out that driving layup, max out that driving dunk, and also max out that standing dunk. Then, to add to the post game, go ahead and put that post control maxed out. We're actually going to get 18 badges right here. Now, let's go ahead and get into the shooting. So when it comes down to the mid-range, we're going to go ahead and max it out, and same exact thing when it comes down to the three-pointer. Now, when it comes down to the free throw, I'm going to go ahead and put this to a 79. That's going to give us 13 badges, so honestly, not bad at all to get started. Now, let's go ahead and get into the playmaking. Of course, this is a center build, so we're going to work with what we can do. When it comes to that pass accuracy, I'm going to go with an 82. Ball handle is going to be maxed out, and then when it comes to the speed with the ball, same exact thing. That's going to give us 9 badges right there. Now let's go ahead and get into the defense. First thing you want to go ahead and do, when it comes down to the interior defense, put this to a 91. Then, when it comes down to the block, max this out. Go ahead and put the steal to a 29. Then when it comes down to that defensive rebound, go ahead and put this to a 90. Then bring up the offensive rebound to a 69 for 15 defensive badges. Not bad for the badge count, especially on a center build. Not too many people have been using them, so that is why I really like this build. Definitely, as you can see, gonna be a very useful build in any game mode. Now, when it comes down to the physicals, I'm gonna go ahead and max out everything except my stamina. A lot of people don't care for the stamina. However, if you want to, you can go ahead and lower your strength or your vertical to where it matches up even to get around a 60 stamina to be in that safe zone. For those of you who know, 60 stamina is going to be the perfect spot to where you want to keep it, to where it does not affect your player and you won't even notice it. So go ahead and do it as is if you want to go about it that way. Like I'm showing y'all right here, I lowered my vertical just to get that 60 stamina. But if you want to go with the other version of this build with the maxed out stats, I'm just going to go ahead and take off my stamina, leaving it at nothing. Then when it comes down to my vertical, I'm going to go ahead and raise it and put the rest of the stats into other attributes. That's the way I see it best, honestly, because you are a center, so you're not going to really need too much speed on this build. But when it comes down to these takeovers, as y'all can see, we get the sharpshooting, then we get the rim protecting, and of course, we're going to be able to get that post scoring takeover. So all of these are going to be a really good option, but again, it really comes down to your play style and what you see yourself doing when it comes down to this build. For me, I really like the offensive takeovers first. Normally I would be picking them first, of course, but for my liking on this specific build, since we are playing center, I would highly recommend picking one of the rim protecting takeovers first. But then again, you honestly don't need to. You can double up with the offensive, going with double sharpshooting or even double post scoring or splitting right between the middle. I'm going to go with stuff blocks and limitless range, and as y'all can see, we have made the two-way facilitator, and I feel like the comparisons of Kareem as well as Kristaps Porzingis are going to be very accurate. Both of these builds as well as these players are definitely going to replicate what this build comes out to be. Now, when it comes down to grinding this build out, y'all already know that is definitely something we all have to consider, not only on this build, but every build that I bring to y'all. So when it comes down to the physicals, we're going to be getting a +8, speed going to be a 71, comes down to the acceleration, this is going to be in the 60s, strength going to be a 99, vertical in the mid 80s. Then when it comes to that defensive rebound with boost, you're going to have a 99. When it comes down to the offensive, this will be in the 70s, 99 block, and then 99 interior defense with boost. We're going to have a pretty high pass accuracy that's going to be able to hit the 90s. And then when it comes down to the shooting, the mid-range, three-pointer, and the free throw are all going to be in the mid to high 80s. Now, when it comes down to the finishing, 99 post control, 99 standing dunk, going to have mid to high 80s for the driving dunk as well as the driving layup. So when it comes down to this build, it really does not lack in any area when it comes down to talking about a big. This is literally going to be the very perfect build that y'all can use when it comes down to playing center or any position that's going to be involving the big. Now let's go ahead and get into the badges. The first one we're going to go with is going to be handles for days, of course, but first let's go ahead and put on some better badges that are going to help us out a lot more. I'm going to go with special delivery on Hall of Fame. Now if you want to, you can definitely go with dimer on Hall of Fame or even floor general on gold. For my preference, if you know how to dribble with normal dribbling moves, go ahead and put on handles for days. If not, I would highly recommend putting on dimer. And then for the last badge, you could go with downhill, or you could go with handles for days just to keep it on bronze to be in that safe area. Now, let's go ahead and get into the shooting badges. We got 13 to work with. So the first one that I'm going to go with is definitely going to be the most important, and that is going to be Hot Zone Hunter. From here, if you want to, you can go ahead and put on Hot Shot if you decided to double up on the sharpshooting takeover. This is going to be a key badge for you if you decided to go about it that way. For my preference, I'm going to go ahead and go another route. I'm going to go with catch and shoot on gold, and then from here I'm going to go with bronze clutch shooter as well as corner specialist. Now another badge that I really like is going to be volume shooter on bronze. These are going to be 3 key bronze badges that are definitely going to help us out. From here, I really like green machine as well. Now with these last 3, I'm going to go with hot shot. Like I said, if you want to, you could go ahead and change up some of the tiers on the badges. You could even take off clutch shooter to raise up your corner specialist. That's another thing that I would go about when it comes down to the badge setup. Now let's go ahead and get into the defense. So we got 15 badges to work with. First, let's go ahead and put on the most essential badges first. That's going to be Intimidator on Hall of Fame. And then from here, another one that all of us need to put on is going to be Rim Protector. For these last 7 badges, it's going to come down to your preference. If you want to go ahead and unlock Chase Down Artist animations, go ahead and put this badge on bronze. From there, if you want to, you can definitely go ahead and put on Rebound Chaser in Hall of Fame. But if you don't, you can definitely change up the setup that you're going to be going with. Like I said, it really comes down to what you favor most and how you feel most comfortable about going about it. Now, one badge that I am going to say that I really like is going to be that we get Defensive Leader on Hall of Fame for this build. Going to be a really nice center to put it in all together. Really going to be that true defensive anchor with these Hall of Fame badges that we're going to be able to put on. Now, let's go ahead and get into the finishing. So the first badge that all of us are definitely going to put on first is going to be Posterizer on Hall of Fame. With the last 14, you could really go based off of your preference, but if you want to go ahead and get your takeover the fastest, I would really recommend putting on Heat Seeker. That is going to give us a huge boost, but if not, there are definitely other badges that we can go with. So If you're looking to add more to your post game, you can definitely consider any of the post scoring badges when it comes down to the finishing side of things. For me, I'm going to go with putback boss on silver to unlock those putback dunks. Another badge that I really like and use on my main build is going to be slithery finisher, and then from there, even fearless finisher is going to be really good as well. I'm going to go with lob city finisher on bronze just to get those animations. From here, I'm going to drop down my fearless finisher to bronze just so I can add one post scoring badge, and the one that I would really consider is going to be back down Punisher. Dream Shake works, I have seen it used, and honestly the animations you get out of it are going to be pretty nice. Again, it really comes down to what y'all want to do, but this is a setup we're going with 18, 13, 9, and 15. Thank y'all so much to everybody who finished this entire video through. I truly just want y'all to know that I mean it when I say it. I truly appreciate all of y'all support. Go ahead and comment down RGF if y'all finish this video. Again, I got another one dropping for y'all tomorrow. So man, y'all already know what y'all need to do. Be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. To the RGF family and any new supporters, I would appreciate it if y'all went ahead and hit that like button. But also go ahead and turn on post notifications because I'm uploading every single day and y'all are not going to want to miss it. Man, with all that being said, I got one last thing to say. Rich out.